Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be vibing as per usual. I don't really know what to talk about. I'm trying to think if there's anything like particularly significant I want to talk about, but not really what I can think of off the top of my head. Like any like sort of big gaming news. Actually, you know what? There was a news one friend told me yesterday was that like Disney or something's making a card game. I can't remember what it's like. Lorcana. That was it. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Don't know what it's even like. Don't know what what sort of card game is it? Is it meant to be like Magic style? Is it meant to be like, I don't know, a Doctor Who trading card game from ages back? Is it meant to be like that? I don't really know, but I don't know. If you're interested, go look it up, I suppose. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 4:56 p.m. on Thursday, September 1st, 2022. Thursday, September, and of course, Isabel's going to be talking about the autumnal stuff which is happening and falling around, and you know, it's I suppose the eve of my birthday, which will be tomorrow. So I probably should record a Happy in Paradise video in advance, I suppose, for that, because I might end up being a bit busy tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? Anyway, sorry, Mum, but you know we don't want that letter anymore, mainly because it's the same one from last year. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about, so let's try and find a conversational thread to keep pulling on. Like a sweater and like some weird analogy, but I don't know, I'm trying to build up, but you know, analogies don't always land exactly right, you know, to the detriment of one of my friends who she very much loves to talk in analogies. Whether the analogies hold up under scrutiny or not does not really matter. I don't know, I'm trying to think about something I've seen recently which would be interesting to talk about. Can we talk about analogies? I don't know how I'd talk about analogies for about whatever amount of time, I'm going to be perfectly honest, but yeah. I'm not sure. Record an Anacute. I was meant to record some. I thought, yeah, I've said what the next series is going to be after Anacute. I was going to record some Cuphead today. The Delicious Last Course, of course, not the main game. I've already beaten the main game before I've actually started this YouTube channel, unfortunately. But I might go back through that game and, you know, try and S-rank the bosses. But, you know, after Anacute and me being, like, quite dissuaded from S-ranking it for quite a while, then, you know, perhaps sorry, that's not how you construct a sentence. After playing Anacute and having, not a miserable time, but quite an annoying time S-ranking all the levels, I'm not sure if I should go back and do it for Cuphead, but the thing is, I actually really know I enjoy playing Cuphead, and I have gone back to S-rank. Well, I started to S-rank some of the levels, but then I never actually finished it, because, you know, I think I started playing a different game. I think that's actually when I started playing Bad Boys U, now I think about it. So that might happen, just like the same way in Bad Boys U I played with DLC, and then I went back through and played all the games I was missing from the base game, just for, you know, my own completionist sake. Might be fun to do that in Cuphead, you know, play through the DLC, then go through and S-rank all the Cuphead bosses, which I hadn't S-ranked before. I don't know if I'll do that, we'll see how that goes. I might at least give it a little bit of a shot, because it's kind of fun, you know. Cuphead's a fantastic mechanical-based game as well. It's one of my favourite, certainly, mechanical-based games there is, and probably a large amount of that is just due to the art style itself, you know, the sort of like rubber hose 1920s animation style, reminiscent of, you know, like early Disney cartoons, early... I forgot you turn into Cornemere, right? You go as Acorns for the entirety of his month or so. Yeah, I was meant to record that today, didn't. Honestly, just, you know, I mean, part of the reason was I was like organising quite a few of my clothes, you know, trying to organise my wardrobe, because, you know, I've got some new clothes recently, and I was like, you know, trying to fit all the stuff in my wardrobe, and I was like, I have all this stuff which I don't need anymore, let's, you know, like, give it away, etc, and all that. Gotta say, wardrobes, but they're both very convenient and very inconvenient at the same time, and you might be like, what the heck do you mean by that? Well, I mean, hanging up your clothes in a wardrobe, you know, if you've got things which hang up quite nicely, you know, like linen, you know, some t-shirts or whatever, just basically anything which is not like a heavy woolen sort of item, woolen adjacent item which stretches under its own weight. It's nice to be hung up. It's very easy to see all your clothes, you know, sort of browse through them and, you know, pick out exactly what you want to wear. But also the wardrobes are kind of inconvenient at the same time, because obviously you cannot hang up every single piece of clothing, and especially a lot of the clothes I wear end up being like sweaters or like sweater dresses or things like that, which are quite heavy, and, you know, if you hang them up, they'll sort of like pull themselves under their own weight and stretch out, which is not exactly what you want. Well, I mean, maybe it's what you want with them, but it's not what I particularly want with my clothes. So you're meant to put them down like on a little shelf. But my shelf is a bit annoying because it's really, really high up. Like I'm pretty tall, but even this shelf is like whatever. It might be like 2 meters up or something. 2 meters up. That might be a bit too high, but it might be around that sort of height, and it's really annoying to get to. You might be like, how do you even access that shelf? Well, normally I stand on the edge of my bed, which is also a good meter away from my wardrobe, and sort of like lean over and like arrange stuff that way. And you might be like, hey, isn't this just kind of like your wardrobe? It's quite annoying to work with. And honestly, yeah, you're right. But, it's just a wardrobe I've had. It's a wardrobe I've had for a while. And it's just very annoying to deal with. Although, saying this, I do remember I had a wardrobe I had back in university. I don't know, are we really going to talk about wardrobes today? Apparently so. The wardrobes I had in university were fantastic. Where it was like, because in my second and third year I had like an ensuite room. Stayed on university campus site, well, because we had to. But I had like my main room. It was actually quite a sizably big room, It was basically like not a recreational room, but like a very tiny living room or living space combined with a bedroom all in one. Some rooms had like a divider between the two, like a half countertop or something to act like a divider. My room didn't, but it was the same sort of shape. And then I had like a tiny little hallway area where basically the entire walls were lined with cupboards that led into an ensuite bathroom, and it was very, very nice, I'm not gonna lie. I was very lucky to get a room as quite as nice as that, especially for 2 years. But the wardrobes, underrated part of that room, because the wardrobes, it was basically like like 2 double door wardrobes, like all next to each other, and they were all different. Like one of them had like a chest of drawers in and was mainly shelves, and one of them had like a hanging area and like a high shelves, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was just like a normal shelving sort of cupboard. Where at drawers, I stuffed so many random things, in my wardrobe. Although actually, to be fair, I didn't actually stuff that much stuff in, because at least in my university I had to take home my stuff at the end of every term. So travel light and bring only what you needed for the term. It's basically how I lived. But it was really convenient, I could put like my suitcases in there, bring everything in a massive suitcase, if I was like tuck it away in the corner of that wardrobe. And only like in my home now, I suppose, not in that university accommodation anymore. I'm just like, oh, what's that wardrobe? It was a really convenient wardrobe. I can't believe I'm saying that. But it's one thing I think I'd quite like, is to have like a literal walk-in wardrobe, I mean, a walk-in wardrobe is just basically another room, and certainly it's quite a luxury, I would say. And I don't think most people want a walk-in wardrobe as a luxury, and it's sort of like on the list of luxuries I want out there, it's quite, I'm not going to say it's low down, but I think it's higher than the average person's list of luxuries. And I don't know, that's an interesting concept. Like what was number one on my list of luxuries that I would love to have, if I was like super rich? I'm not really sure. But, I mean, I guess a walk-in wardrobe's not like super rich sort of territory, Super rich would be like, I don't know, indoor pool, it would be like catering staff or something. Or any staff, I suppose, to look after your own home. But like, I suppose it's sort of like a mid-tier, rich goal, being like, oh, live in a place with a large wardrobe where you could just sort of walk in. And I don't mean like particularly big. I only mean like, maybe a couple of meters by like what? Maybe like 1.5 meters by 2 meters or something. That'd be fantastic. Actually, that's quite small now I think about it. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Enough to, that you got like at least like a small walking space about 1 meter or so. I mean, you can have clothes on either side and drawers or whatever. Just a nice way to be able to organise all my clothes, and having them in a walk-in cupboard, having them all around you is a lot more visual way to actually really understand and look at your clothes properly, rather than in a wardrobe. And especially annoying with my wardrobe right now. I'm not dissing on your wardrobe. I'm sorry, your wardrobe's in earshot. My wardrobe is great because it's very big and spacious, but it's got sliding doors, and sliding doors are a bit annoying because sometimes I want to look at all of my clothes at once, but you can't do that. So you have sliding, so you had to sort of like you either push the sliding doors all the way to one side and you had to sort of awkwardly reach and look around it, or you just had to sort of memorize and put them on different what clothes are on different sides. At least the way I do it, I have much more like smart work, formal occasion clothes on one side, and then much more casual clothes on the other side. And then you might be like, how do you organise the shelving at the top? And the shelving I have at the top is, I don't know why I'm so passionate about talking about my wardrobe, but it's quite deep. It's actually like surprisingly deep. Like normally you can set like one pile of like t-shirts or something, and you put them all like horizontally next to each other. This you can actually, if you turn the t-shirt piles around, you can actually set them like too deep or whatever. But it brings up an interesting sort of problem, because obviously it's, you know, it's nice to have all this extra room, I suppose, for shelves, but it's also really high up and it's very hard to look at the things you put down there normally. So it's like, how do I organise my clothes to make sure the things that are lining the back are things I don't wear very often? Like, I can't remember what pile it's in, but my Christmas sweaters in one of the piles, like some random hoodies. I don't tend to wear pullover hoodies very often, but, you know, I like to have them at least on hand, just in case, you know, feeling casual, feeling cozy or whatnot. And, you know, got to think about lining those at the back. But because I don't own as many of them, you know, and I own like way more like t-shirts and like cardigans and jumpers or whatever, they make up the piles at the front, but that means that it's sort of like lopsided, where the piles at the front are now bigger than the piles at the back. So now you've got to sort of like evenly distribute them, but then the organisation system sort of gets messed up. It's just like, I don't know, you know. I suppose the lesson from it is probably to not have a wardrobe so much taller than you that it's actually very difficult to see the top of it. Or if you do have shelving items, the things you put on the shelving items are things like just for general storage, or things you don't really want to, you know, access all that often. But that's probably the lesson you take from it. But, you know, I have limited space. I remember back in, you know, when home I used to live in, like ages ago when I was very young, like 10ish or something. I guess that's not very young, but still, younger than I am now. Like, I used to have a wardrobe and a chest of drawers, and that was super convenient. In fact, it was so convenient. I had so much space that a lot of my chest of drawers didn't even hold clothes. But now, technically, I guess I do have more chest of drawers now. Like, my wardrobe actually holds a chest of drawers, which I put other clothes in. And I got another chest of drawers next to me here, but this holds all, like, general goods, you know, like stationery, or is where I put, like, all my, not important documents, but stuff I need, like, at a moment's notice. Actually, now I think about it, my switch drawer comes often in there, so I don't really know. I'm not really sure what else is in the back of it, because I only ever use the front of it. What's in here? Like, old purses? What's this? I don't even know what that is. Bicycle lights, probably not the most important thing, since I don't ride my bicycle anymore. Is this a prescription bag? It's a medication prescription bag. I don't know what this is doing in here. Chuck that away. Oh, hold on. Amelia, you got custom dialogue. A friend of mine is hosting a soiree, and I received an invite, but there's a cloud around the silver gleam. My best party dresses up the cleaners and won't be ready in time for the event. I'd wear my second best ensemble, but my dear friend knows both me and my wardrobe too well for that. Anything less than my finest would be an insult to our friendship. Yet, what else am I to do, dearie? Wait, I've just had a thought. It's outlandish, but perhaps I could tell her what happened. Perfect. Oh, Amelia, you've done it again. Oh, Amelia. What else do I have in here? Just a bit of styrofoam? I don't know what this is doing in here. Just chuck that away. Okay, I missed my bin. Not the most athletic decision I've ever done. Well, not decision. Oh, I've got my Dungeons and Dragons dice bag in here. My dice are fantastic. I can't even remember where I got them from. I don't even remember. I got this bag from Etsy. It's like a dragon bag. It's got like a dragon eye on it, and I got the pink scales version because I don't know. I suppose I'm just like that. The dice I all have are very, very pretty. Like, I got like rainbow dice. I got some of them. So, like, one of them's like Aurora coloured. I can't even remember what my other ones were. I think I even got my first dice set in there, which are like some black and white dice set, which I bought from Amazon. Which you might be like, that's pretty cool. Well, it's not very cool because we used white ink all over it instead of, you know, using black ink on the white parts and white ink on the black part. So part of it is very unreadable. I don't even remember what other dice I have in it. Anyway, this dice bag is absolutely almost bursting because it's so full. This is a rainbow one. I'm going to roll D20, see what I get. I got an 8. Does not bode well. I don't even know what else is in here. What other dice bags? That's still a rainbow one. I guess I probably organised them by set when I put them in here. Classic me. Anyway, put that back. Actually, I have D&D character sheets in here. That's wild. I haven't played D&D for like years, so it's been quite a while. Quite a long time. I mean, I always mention to my friends, like, someday I'm going to start a D&D campaign. I'll DM one, but, you know, it's not happened yet because it takes a long time. At least takes a long time for me. Anyway, in my second drawer is where I put all my stationery. That's where I got all my, like, pencils, my pens and all that sort of thing. And my third drawer is mainly just, like, books and pads of paper. It's sort of like remnants of my study days. Which obviously I don't need those bits of paper or too much anymore, but still, you know, nice to have. I actually do have quite a lot of storage, you know, stuff around. I also got this, like, random shelf where I put all my makeup on. And also, what on earth is this doing here? That's not meant to be here. None of this is meant to be here. That's meant to be over here. I was going to be like, it's also got my piano music on it. And also next to my piano music is where I put my medication. Because that's how it goes. I've got my hair styling stuff. Most of that's just beauty products, I'm going to be honest. And it's a thing, you know. I should really just like reorganize everything, you know. Actually check out stuff which I don't use, don't need, or at least put it away in like a box under my bed. That's where most things I don't use particularly often are. Hold on, what missions do we have? I'm not paying enough attention. Chop a tree, sell fruit, create things. Okay. So I don't know. Having a walk-in wardrobe would be really nice. I mean, I've seen pictures of like people's crazy walk-in wardrobes where they're just like tons and tons of clothes. Like I don't have tons of clothes. I have a decent amount of clothes. Do I have more than me? Or do I think I have more pieces of clothing or fewer pieces of clothing than the average person? That's an interesting question. I would wager it's more, but I would wager it's only slightly more. You know? Because certainly people who aren't that interested in fashion aren't going to have like huge amounts of clothes. It's, you know, going to have only a couple of different t-shirts, a couple of different jeans, boom. And, you know, one formula attire, bosh, done. Absolutely, like, all bases covered in that sort of situation. And, you know, I certainly got more than that. But I don't have, like, a crazy man. I don't have, like, things for literally every single occasion. You know, but, like, how much formal attire do you have? I mean, to be fair, a lot of my clothes are also, like, second-hand as well, so... Not all of it I bought myself. And, you know, when I go clothes shopping, I often buy... It's not called a refurbished bin. That's like technology lingo. What's it called? The clearance racks and that sort of thing. Buy stuff from there, why not? You know, it's like, oh, someone else owned this and returned it out. Well, you know, I'll wash it first. It'll be fine as long as it's not like completely ruined. I'm good. Thumbs up. Good discount. Yeah. But at some point, you know, maybe in the future, maybe. You know, I somehow, you know, start streaming and become the top streamer on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. I don't know how that happens. That's probably like a conflict of interests. But, you know, I'll have an excess amount of money and I'll be like, I want to buy some clothes. Got to have a place to store those clothes. And a walk-in wardrobe. But just kind of cool. Oh, sorry, I skipped the old dialogue there. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the sweat I could work up in it. I bet you can still smell it. Oh, no, that wasn't conversation dialogue. Get out of it, right? I don't know why, but I remember... When I was talking about the whole spiel about walk-in wardrobe, I just remember from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, you know, the episode where Cody moves into the walk-in wardrobe. It's wild, but, you know, those two twins live with a single mother who works as a singer who doesn't often get that many gigs, as I understand it, but lives in like a lavish hotel somehow. I don't remember the story behind how they actually lived there. Or whatever, but, you know, they live in a pretty nice hotel house. Or whatever. And I had a walk-in wardrobe and everything. Anyway, Cody moves into the walk-in wardrobe and like claims that as his new bedroom or whatever. That's all I recall. I just remember him ordering a load of random things into it, like a flat screen TV, and it was just, you know, ridiculous and everything. Anyway, maybe a walk-in wardrobe a bit like that. You know, minus, you know, the Disney Channel stars who reside inside of it. I really don't know where I was going with this conversation. So on that scale, from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody walk-in wardrobe to Barbie in Dreamhouse walk-in wardrobe, I would go, you know, somewhere about like 30%. That would be like the ideal, normal distribution, because, you know, no one wants a Barbie in Dreamhouse sort of like walk-in wardrobe. Actually, now I think about it, it was really common in Disney Channel shows, wasn't it? There's one in Hannah Montana as well. You know, she has like a wardrobe, and then, you know, she tries to show her friend Lily, or when she first like outed herself as Hannah Montana. She's like, here, I got to show you something. And they like walk into her wardrobe, and Lily's like, we're in your wardrobe, cool. And then Hannah Montana goes like, not that. And then she opens up the back room of a wardrobe, and it goes into like a huge, basically like, it could honestly be a small apartment full of clothes. And then everyone was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then she's like, watch this or something. And then she like grabs the shoe racks and starts pulling the shoe rack out, and it turns out that shoe rack, which looked like it only held like 6 shoes, actually held like 60 shoes, and it was just like retractable. I don't know why I remember this, but I do for literally no apparent reason. Yeah, so something. So if that's like 50%, and you might be like, that's quite extravagant for 50%. Well, clearly you haven't seen Barbie in Dreamhouse's walk-in wardrobe. It's literal, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's it's a warehouse, it's a storehouse or something, which, you know, makes sense. Barbie, she's gotten a lot of outfits over the years. Probably needs, you know, somewhere to store it all. And it is a dream house, so, you know. What would the scale of 1 to 10 be if 10 was not literally ridiculous and only in the flights of fantasy could it ever be possible? Well, I'm not going to say that's true, because there's probably some very rich person out there who has like a literal mansion, not even a mansion-sized walk-in wardrobe. Probably they just bought a mansion to be literally just a wardrobe for them. Honestly, sounds really inconvenient, I'm going to be honest. But I suppose if you have that sort of throwaway money, you can't do whatever you want with it. I don't want that much. Like, even if I had money to burn, I'd just be like, that's just excessive. But I'd probably at most just be like, oh, you know, just a pretty big size room, I suppose, as a walk-in wardrobe. Probably my priorities would be elsewhere, you know, well, if I'm at that stage of richness. I think probably my priorities will sort of divert elsewhere first. I don't know, WhatsApp message. I don't mind at all. Let's give Vivian whatever this is. Yeah. I feel like there should be more sort of like walk-in storage spaces, not just for walk-in wardrobes. I mean, I guess there are, it's just there's not a distinct name for them because, you know, clothes are quite applicable to most people, but, you know, other sort of hobbies aren't. What other sort of like specialist rooms would I like to have in my house? I'd like to have like a recording booth or like some sort of music room, you know. You might be like, you don't even play that much music. Yeah, but I'd like it as a hobby room. You know what would be really cool? You know, if I actually got into playing more Dungeons and Dragons at some point, is to have, like the setup they have in Critical Role, where they've got like a special room, the special like sort of a table and everything lined up. It's all like atmospheric and it's got mood lighting. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if I'd use it that often. I guess it'd be kind of wasted on me, but still. I just think the idea of it's kind of cool. A gaming room would be kind of nice, I suppose. Specialist office, I suppose, just for working. I don't know if I'd want an indoor pool. I don't know how often I'd honestly go swimming, and I feel like a pool is a lot more maintenance than it's actually worth, but I'd certainly prefer an indoor pool compared to an outdoor pool. Outdoor pool just seems like so much. What a nuisance. Maybe have like an indoor-outdoor pool, like have it be indoors, but then have like big like retractable sliding glass doors or something which could open out to like a porch or something. So now it's sort of like kind of outdoorsy as well. Maybe the roof can retract as well as a convertible house. I don't know if I'd want that. I'd probably, you know, luxury rooms, you know, walk-in wardrobe, specific like office space, and a recreational room of some sort, like hobbies. So, you know, that's probably as far as I go. I feel like most of the others are kind of like excessive, and I don't even know, like, at least Fortress. Didn't we give you one of these? I don't know, this sounds like it would be very good on you, William. I swear we gave you one of these. Did we not? I might be making it up. Oh, it might be something which I'm like, oh, I should have given to you, but then I just never did. Anyway, that suits you really well, Vivian, I think. You got quite an autumnal complexion, I would say. And I'm trying to think what other sort of like luxury rooms I'd have. Like in-house theatre, I suppose. That probably appeals to quite a lot of people. Doesn't really appeal to me. I don't really watch movies. I guess it'd be nice to have a big screen to play games on, but I don't really want that big a screen to play games on. Because at a certain point, it definitely becomes inconvenient. You know, projector size, you know, taking up the entire size of a ward is just inconvenient. Also, projectors aren't like... I don't think projectors can really compare with like a display screen, unless you're in a movie theatre, you know. Like the sort of fidelity of a brightness you get on like an LCD monitor is significantly better than what you can get on a projector, because a projector can only go as light as the screen you project it on, and can only go as dark as, you know, turning out the lights of a room you're in. So you have to play like in the dark. But I don't know, it'd be nice to have like a social room like that, you know, which could also double as an in-house theatre, you know, invite my friends around, you know, we can hang out. Hey, you want to watch a movie? And heck yeah. You know, dear darling, she's got the in-house theatre. We'll bring the popcorn. And I'd be like, I don't eat popcorn. I don't know why I made such an inconvenient situation for myself in my own, like, fantasy. I don't think like, that's a very common thing to, you know, be like, oh, I'm living my dream world fantasy, and this is too, like, cushy and normal. I gotta make it more troublesome for myself. I think having, like, one of his big, like, aquarium walls in a room would be pretty cool. I don't know what I'd do with it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really, like, a fish keeper or anything. I just think fish are pretty. Well, again, if you're rich enough, I suppose, to afford, like, aquarium wall in your house, you're probably rich enough to pay someone to also look after it, like with some sort of housekeeping duties. In fact, you kind of had to, you know. If you lived in, it's a thing, if you live like in a giant mansion, you can't single-handedly clean up the entire time unless you make it your full-time job, right? Right? I don't know. I don't live in a mansion, to be honest, so I can't really tell. I can't really comment on that, but I don't know. Anyway, maybe let's just start with maybe a walk-in wardrobe. Or maybe it could be like a walk... You know what? Let's make this dream more achievable. Make a walk-in wardrobe which can double as also a music room or something. Because it's a thing with like wardrobes is that we have pretty decent acoustics or whatever, right? Because all the clothes sort of like act as dampening materials to prevent like echoes and reflections of sound waves, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Not sure. But, you know, you could probably double them up together or something. At least that's what I think. Anyway, you know, Dear Darling House Tour in 2046 when this might happen. 46, 24. I'll be 50 then. I don't think I'll be making YouTube videos at that age, so perhaps not. You know what I mean. I don't know, because like all the influencers live in like crazy, like big houses, you know, like gaming houses and things like that. Would I want to live in a house that big? I don't really know. To a certain extent, it sounds kind of fun living with like your friends, but also to a certain extent, it sounds quite troublesome. At the same time, am I that sort of person? I don't really know. I kind of like the idea, but also I'm also kind of scared of the idea because I quite like my own personal space, just like a space to call my own. But having it as like a working office, that sounds pretty cool. Anyway, so again, not detracted. Well, yes, detracted, but also distracted is what I meant. Or for some walk-in wardrobes. You know, why don't we just Google some pictures of walk-in wardrobes? Imagine the American dream that I could have. Walk-in wardrobes or DIYers. Oh my word. See, this one looks very slick. But literally the only thing that's in it is shirts and blazers. Just office wear. My word. Let's get mysterious flooring, why not? This one even wait, it's even got like a sofa in it. I guess that makes sense. You probably need to like sit down somewhere to actually put on some clothes. This is convenient. These are also well organised. None of them also have mirrors, which is bewildering to me. You would have thought a mirror is like one of the most important parts of like having a walk-in wardrobe, so you can actually see what you're wearing. This one does. No, that's not a mirror. That's like some random window frame. Is this a mirror? Why are there no mirrors in any of these? Am I just blind? Maybe there are mirrors. Oh, my God, doesn't have a mirror. Are you going to take the clothes out and then walk to your room and then try them on? In the mirror? Outrageous. Just put a mirror in here. I also, for a bit, I was just like, why do none of these walk-in wardrobes have doors? And then I just realised, I guess the entire thing is a wardrobe, right? You know, you already opened the wardrobe door. Why would you need another door on the shelf? Maybe that's probably why I'm not an interior designer. Maybe there's a very good reason not to put a mirror in, but I guess the lighting might not necessarily be all that great. Hey, this one's got a mirror. I mean, these just look like shop areas, I'm not gonna lie. Or like showrooms or something. I can't even imagine never owning something like this. Wild. It's a walk-in wardrobe, but it's like built into the bedroom, which is it? Wait, hold on, that's just like putting a shelf up in your room, isn't it? Walk-in wardrobe in a tiny box, small room, YouTube. Fair enough. Very cozy. These are all too sleek, which actually make them feel a little bit unnerving to look at. Anyway, walk-in wardrobes, I guess. A luxury that maybe I'd like to have at some point. So I'm going to round off this episode here. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscriptions, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.